Hello, and welcome to All Things Azeroth, where me and my co host are going to talk about all things Azeroth. I am your host tonight, Skylar, here with my co host, Elliot.
That's
Hello,
me.
Elliot.
Hey, sorry, I always jump in and cut
We
you
always
off.
do that. Yeah, that's like something we always do. I
Um,
always do the hello, Elliot, and then jump in.
it's right as yeah. I'm just I don't know. I'm super excited. I guess.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, this is gonna
We've got
be
a good show for you tonight.
yeah. We
We're
actually
excited.
prepared some stuff and we have a
We
direction.
did research, or I did research.
Yeah, I did a tiny bit of research, not a whole lot.
You did enough
I,
research.
enough research, enough. So yeah, how do we start in with this? Uh
Well, I guess we should let you know what the theme of tonight is. It's forgiveness. It is and letting go.
Moving on, accepting things as they are, flaws and all, and saying, you know what, I'm okay with this. Let's
And
continue.
how to accept yourself.
Yeah, that's the main theme of tonight.
It's going to be a real deep episode
Yeah,
into those topics, so buckle in.
that's
It's
right.
going to be a long one, folks.
That's right. So, I talk about Game Pass all the freaking time because it's new for me. I haven't done a lot of game streaming services, I never tried Stadia. I've never done whatever the fuck GameFly maybe. Anyway, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2, obviously, cuz it's on Game Pass and it's a pretty fantastic first person shooter slash MMO, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've been playing it myself. As far as like games as a service goes, it's a relatively new thing.
Yeah.
I guess GameFly, yeah, you're right. They've been kind of doing that thing, but
Yeah, physical
it was kind of
discs.
like Redbox, where you could, you could order the physical disc and you'd hold it for 2 weeks and be able to play it,
Yeah.
send it back, and get another game. Whereas Xbox Game Pass, for listeners who don't know, it's just a service that allows you to download games, kind of like Netflix, except you actually have to download the physical medium onto your computer. But yeah, one of the games that they have on there is Destiny 2, which is kind of crazy
It's insane.
because that's a humongous game. I mean, that game has been, I don't want to say dominating, but it's something that's always kind of been in the realm of, if you're into video games at all, it's always kind of been something that you hear about.
Yeah. Yeah, Destiny 1 launched, what? God, forever ago. And
Yeah, it was after Bungie broke off of Microsoft,
mhm.
because it's by Bungie. It's by the dudes that did the original Halo trilogy, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, and I haven't played those either. So, it all feels super new to me. I'm new to the whole Microsoft game. Microsoft, get at us. As much as I rep your shit for free, come on. What's up?
I mean, they aren't part of Microsoft anymore, but it's kind of funny that they've come back full circle and they're in
Yeah,
Game
yeah,
Pass
and they're
now.
on Game Pass. Yeah. That's ironic, you know? In a not like a I don't know, a fatalist irony, but just in a
Well,
situationally.
considering how Halo 4 and 5 did, you know,
Do they
it's hard
not
to explain without knowing the whole
oh,
story behind them, and that's a whole thing in of itself. But it seems like after Bungie left, they kind of took a turn for the worse. I don't really know myself. I played Halo 4. I never played Halo 5, but I did play Halo 1, 2, and 3
uh-huh.
quite a bit.
Huh.
Uh, Especially Halo 3 a lot.
Man.
And I'm pretty sure that was Bungie was still doing it. I could be wrong.
That would make sense. I think that they would
But
have, a
they went
trilogy.
off and made their own whole fucking thing. I
Yeah.
mean, they
It's
made a whole damn thing.
I'm surprised. I haven't read any of the lore or watched any videos or anything. I'm just playing it, but it's fucking crazy. Like there's an entire universe that they crafted here. I assume
Oh,
Halo's that
absolutely.
way, but
Yeah, Halo really got big with its like it had a bunch of novels and stuff,
oh,
like extended, kind of like how Star Wars was before Disney bought it out. It had
yeah,
the extended universe stuff that was all relatively canon for the most part. That's
yeah.
kind of how Halo is.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I've seen I've seen the novels advertised on stuff. I guess when they came out, this was a while ago. But
Yeah,
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 whoever the writing team at Bungie, kudos, man. Fucking
crazy. It is insane.
yeah. Just
I watched a whole 4 hour lore video this week,
oh my
just of
god.
yeah, just of the whole everything from before Destiny 1, just like from the beginning of everything up until I want to say about 2020 of
Wow.
where Destiny is.
Shit.
Obviously, there's more now, but I kind of have a grasp on how everything kind of led up to the point that it's at.
Oh. That's yeah, you're going to have to fucking send me that video. I'll have to watch it cuz
It
it's
took me a
insane.
couple days to get through. I had to watch like an hour a day because it was just like there was so much to digest and, you know.
Yeah, that's like the one dude YouTuber. I can't remember his name, but he did the giant critiques of the Witcher games, and those were fucking huge.
Oh, Joseph Anderson,
Yeah,
yeah. He did like 6 hour videos of each game. I
yeah.
don't think his Witcher 3 one has come out yet.
I haven't seen it, but I watched the first and the second one, and it was yeah. I chunked it up because that's whew.
It's probably how they're meant to be watched.
Yeah, probably. Um,
But yeah, as far as Destiny goes, it's a great MMO. I mean, an
yeah,
FPS MMO, which is kind of a new concept, for us. I don't want to
yeah.
say we're old, but we're old enough to have seen the rise and fall of many generic MMO RPG.
Yeah, for sure, dude. From the I mean, I wasn't around in the dawn of the MMO with like I don't know, Eve Online was that one of them that was super old?
Like a super old one would be
Yeah.
like Ultima
Oh,
Online,
yes, okay.
which was released in like 96, 97, something like
Yeesh.
that. And there were some that were even before that, but I can't remember. I know Ultima Online is definitely one of the oldest.
I've definitely heard that name. I have no idea what that was about. Fantasy Star Online is another one that I think I've heard of.
That's fairly old. That's
Okay.
getting more into like our like preteen. Well, not giving away our age or anything, but like
I'm pretty
preteenish
sure we
years.
said our ages like in episode 1, so yeah,
Probably,
whatever.
probably. I mean, it's whatever. I'm just saying,
I
it's
don't
like
care.
Fantasy Star is relatively newer.
Was that
It was old.
was that one that was on the Dreamcast?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, that was the one
Okay.
that was on the Dreamcast, the original Fantasy Star.
Ah, okay. I did not have a Dreamcast, so
I didn't either.
no.
Dreamcast was like one of the first consoles to ever really do the online thing, like network, actually having it plugged into like
Mm,
a modem or a router or whatever, and
yeah.
being able to play with other people online, not as a PC computer, which had already been a thing, with like Quake and
Yeah.
EverQuest,
Oh baby.
original EverQuest.
Original OG EverQuest. That's right. Dude, it's still active. Did you fucking know that?
Yeah, I know. I know.
It's on
We
its like 28th expansion is coming out.
oh
28.
oh yeah, like the original. Yes, yeah,
Like
yeah.
I don't know how similar I doubt it looks as similar to its its 1999 counterpart, but
No, no,
uh
no, not at all.
I looked around on their website a bit and it's just I was just like, wow, what the fuck? They've kept it alive. Like I don't know if the EverQuest fan base is just super crazy hardcore. Um, I
I
definitely,
would have to say yes to that.
yeah,
I mean, if it's around that long
that makes
and
sense.
also has a dedicated player base for its legacy,
Yeah,
like the 1998 version, which you and I played
yeah, we played a little bit of that. It
a
was,
very little bit.
mm-hmm. It was cool, but it was like fucking punishingly brutal. Like,
Losing XP on death is one of the
yeah,
worst mechanics.
losing XP and like everything in your inventory and your equipment, it all just drops. So you and it's like, well, obviously you're dying in dangerous areas. It's not somewhere easy to fucking run back to.
No, but you also, like, the map sucked. Like,
Yeah.
you had to use the slash locate spell to be able to know where you were.
Yeah.
And only then you could, like if you did slash locate before you died, you would know where your corpse was.
Mhm.
Unless you had a warlock, or there was another class,
Cleric.
I think, that could bring, yeah, cleric, higher level cleric or warlock.
Yeah.
They could do like a bring corpse spell, and they could bring it to wherever they were.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that sucked.
Yeah, it was
I didn't make
insane.
it very far. I don't think I made it past level 15.
Yeah, I think you played it more than I did cuz I only remember like one or two sessions and I was just like, man, fuck. I
Yeah, we spent a lot of time in Feydark, I believe, which was our race's starting area.
yeah, the high
'Cause you were a
elf.
priest. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
you were a high elf priest, and I was a high elf paladin, which was a bad pick. Because
Yeah.
hybrid classes
Hybrid
back in that day got an XP penalty for
Yeah.
being hybrid,
Mhm.
so they could never be as good as a priest, and they could also never be as good as a warrior, but they still took an XP hit.
That's right. Yeah, dude, cuz from what I know, like EverQuest is like it built off of a D&D system. I want to say
Like
advanced
advanced Dungeons and
I want to
Dragons,
say
like the
advanced
first
D&D.
version,
Yeah. And then so it works within
maybe later.
those like lore lines or like if obviously with like Dungeons and Dragons, when you level up a character, you can multi-class and then you can start taking levels of spells or whatever in that other class. But then that limits you, you're I don't know if house rules or whatever, but I'm pretty sure level 20 is like the cap, and then it's like, well, if you're combined level 20 for your multi-class, you could only be 19 and one and the other. It's you couldn't
And
ever
yeah,
have
that's for
access
D and
to
D.
complete. Yeah, so EverQuest borrowed that sort of system, I think, and I want to say progressively got a little less hardcore,
I
but
think so. I think that was the thing back then, is like people really wanted the next expansion after it
yeah.
because it made things a little bit easier, but then people were like, "Well, why do you want things to be easier? That's no fun."
Yeah, dude, those hardcore, uh, like RPG dudes. It's insane. Like
I mean, they're really into it,
they
you know.
really are. Yeah, and good for them. I've never had that kind of determination for anything in my life.
No, no, especially not an MMO. I mean, shout out to if you're listening to this, go at Dagogark. Thank you for all that platinum you and your wife gave us.
Oh yes, that
That
guy.
was his name. It was like go at Dagogark,
Go
and he was a
go add
warlock.
Dagaglar. Yeah, ogre warlock, which is pretty fucking sweet. Ogres are a fun
Yeah,
class to play.
mind you, in that game, also, if you played a specific race, sometimes you would not be allowed in certain cities because you were evil,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
which is crazy to think about. I mean, World of Warcraft kind of did the same thing. If you
Yeah.
were an orc, obviously you couldn't go into Stormwind, but if it was like if you picked an ogre in EverQuest, there was only one place you could go to. There wasn't like an Undercity or a
Mhm.
whatever, uh, Orgrimmar or a Thunderbluff. There wasn't anything like that. It was just one city
Yeah,
that you could
basically
go
it
to.
was like the ogre starting city, and that was like also the ogre capital, coincidentally. Cuz yeah, dude, they took the fucking like good and quote unquote good, quote unquote evil sides shit like super seriously. Like, I mean, it was really, at least uh all of my knowledge comes from the PS2 version, EverQuest Online Adventures, with its expansion Frontiers. That's the one I played, and it was on the PS2, so it was really odd that you could do literally everything but with the PS2 controller, uh anyway, I played a lot of that, and it was like good and evil races. I made a high elf cleric on that back. This is, God, I think I was 10 or something when I first started playing this. But high elf cleric, and then like my brother, when he played, he didn't play it as much as I did, but he made like a dark elf or a drow like rogue, and so his starting city was like the Underdark with I can't remember the name of the town, but it was something very like it was a drow city, and it was like there's no way I could have taken my cleric even into that. Like you can go into like starting zones and stuff, but from what I remember, actually I don't know. I don't know if PvP was a huge thing or if I wasn't on a PvP server, because I didn't see a lot of PvP. And then there's like the neutral cities too, like Freeport, which
Freeport, yeah.
yeah. So that was good and evil could run around together in there without starting any shit, unless you were like a lycanthrope of any kind, because they had like werehunter NPCs who would walk around and then like detect if you had, because you could do like like become a werewolf, but you could also become like a were-lion or a were-rat
Oh my god.
or a were-gator, which was really
Oh,
fucking cool. That's what I did with my cleric. Like it wasn't like min maxy, what the fuck is the word?
probably
Optimal.
not the meta.
Yeah, it wasn't optimal for a cleric, because like you would get bonuses by switching into like your were form, So I'm pretty sure gators had a bonus to strength and something else. It was like definitely more of like a tank would do it.
Oh,
It was kind of cool doing the quest, like to get infected with lycanthropy. You have to just like fight those were creatures and hope that you get a drop. Like it they like drop their tails, and you would collect those and turn them in for some kind of rep or whatever. But like you would have to get a lucky drop that would like, it was the tail, but then like the tail would infect you with it to like start the whole thing, and then you had to like grind them all out, and it was insane.
okay.
It was fucking,
Yeah, that's
it
pretty
was
crazy.
so cool though. Like I would just run
Yeah, those
around.
old RPGs, they had some crazy ass mechanics.
Yeah, it
They were
was.
truly RPGs. They were truly, you could build your character however you wanted and play it like that,
Mm-hmm.
even if it wasn't optimal. And even at the time, it's like nobody knew. Nobody knew what was optimal. I mean, maybe some people did. Obviously,
Yeah.
the people that sunk like 40 plus hours a week into it knew.
Yeah. The guys that
And that's
would.
true with any game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the people that play it so much, they're going to know what is the best way to play it. But there weren't online guides like there are now for games.
Yeah, at the best you could do would be to go on to like a forum for the game, and then in the comments or in the threads and be like, "Yo, I'm new. What the fuck do I do?" And they're like, "Get good,
And hope
bitch."
somebody tells you the right thing to do and doesn't troll you and tell you the wrong thing to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's a thing that happened a lot back
Man.
then. It's like with RuneScape, you go on there and be like, hey, I need to, I want to get some levels, and it's like, hey, just hop into the Wildy and just run a little bit north on this world, and I'll help you out. And then you just fucking take all their bronze armor because you could.
Man. Yeah. Fucking RuneScape. Oof. That was a trip too. That was.
Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like that's one a lot more people have, at least in our generation, age group, whatever, probably have more experience with because we had computer lab
Uh-huh.
in like elementary, middle school,
Yeah.
and there was always like that one person that was like, "Hey, check out this website, and it was like miniclip.com, and it was like you can play RuneScape off miniclip.com, and you can
Mm,
play with all these other. That was at least my introduction to it.
nice. Okay.
It was like,
Yeah, because it was a browser MMO, which it was like not a
yeah, yeah,
thing before.
no,
EverQuest and
not
WoW and
really.
everything. I think. Yeah,
No,
WoW was
EverQuest
around.
wasn't. EverQuest was server based,
Yeah, no,
or
you would
well, no,
have
not
to.
server based, but it was like you had to have a client
Yeah, you would
to
have to
launch
like
it.
download it. Yeah,
Client
install it.
based is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, RuneScape, yeah, it was different because it was a browser
Yeah,
MMO, kind of like Adventure Quest.
yeah.
Adventure Quest
Battlon.com,
not really
baby.
was a MMO. Really, it was a single player game, but like people's actions affected the world in it. So
Yeah,
it would be like if everybody fought this boss, then a percentage thing would go up until everybody got to that point, and the next event would happen. With
yeah.
RuneScape, it was an MMO. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was just straight up MMO. You logged in, you did Tutorial Island, and then you were thrown into the world. You did
Yeah,
that
full
Cook's
on.
Assistant quest and
Yeah,
go
just.
and kill some cows, maybe head over to Draenor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
it was pretty cool. It was probably the first MMO that I played. I played Adventure Quest. But yeah, like you said, it wasn't really an MMO with it, like interacting with other characters at least via
yeah, that was the big
multiplayer.
thing with RuneScape is you could talk to other people.
Yeah, it was super fun for a while until I was introduced to EverQuest. Then I jumped ship, but I did play RuneScape
Same
for
with WoW.
yeah.
I played a good bit of RuneScape. I mean, I actually had membership and
Oh, nice.
everything. Then I saw I saw X Play and they reviewed World of Warcraft,
Oh,
and I fell in love with it immediately, and I was like, I need that. I don't want to play RuneScape anymore.
huh.
And
X-Play
that was
that
when
was
I
a television program?
You've never seen X Play on
No,
like G4?
I didn't
That
have cable back then.
Oh yeah. Well, there was this whole cable uh uh channel. God, it's been so long since I've said that word. A
Channel.
channel called G4
Uh-huh.
TV, and it was basically all video game stuff
Oh, that's
all the
cool.
time.
It's
X Play was basically they just reviewed video games and they would give it like a 1 out of 5
Oh, nice.
with, funny hosts and funny bits and stuff like that.
Uh-huh. Oh,
But yeah,
okay.
that was my first introduction to World of Warcraft was
Nice.
G4's review of it. And
That's
the thing that sold me was the fact that you could become a ghost when you died, but that
yeah.
is actually the worst part of that game. It is the worst part of it.
Yeah, like instead of an EverQuest where it was like you died and you would just have to run back to your corpse, but you'd be or alive, so like you could get killed again, and that was another fucking pitfall. It was terrible, but yeah, World of Warcraft you turn into like a ghost and like go back to your corpse, right?
Yeah, and you have to run back to your corpse.
Yeah,
No matter where you are, no matter where it puts you.
man. Which it's not super far away, at least from when I played.
No, I mean there were some points like if you were in a different faction zone and you couldn't use their graveyard, you would have to run back
Uh,
from your faction's graveyard. I'm trying to think of a really bad one. I guess the worst one would be like as your horde and you die in Westfall,
mm, okay.
you have to run from I can't remember where, but it's really far away.
Man. Shit. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of computer time back then too. I am the middle child of five children growing up in a house, so like anything that it anything that I had, it would like had to be shared between a bunch of kids. So it was like, if my mom wasn't on the computer, I would get time for it, but then it would be like, my brother or sister over my shoulder the whole time. And you know how children are, and they're annoying to each other, and just like are all up in your business and like you have 10 minutes and then like a minute or two passes and like you have 7 minutes. Yeah,
Oh my
it was stupid.
God.
I don't know. It was stupid. I don't think
That's
that's.
awful. I've never had that experience. I am the oldest child by 10 years.
Man,
So anything I say
it
goes.
must be nice. Must be nice. So
It
I didn't
was.
get a lot of computer time, so I didn't get to play fucking any computer games in their like heyday, especially WoW. So
Oh.
like retail, at launch or
Yeah, well,
whatever.
you're right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. On the other hand, I got to play hella computer time as a child because I was an only child for 10 years.
man.
So, and like my grandpa, he was super into computers, and this was, like early 90s or late 90s, I should say, late 90s, early 2000s. So he had a computer at my grandma's house, and I played like hella point and click adventure games for kids like Putt Putt, Freddy Fish,
Oh yeah.
Pajama Sam. I played all
Damn.
those, you know.
I played
And
demos
without
of
anybody to
those.
share it with, I got to play through all of them.
Man, that's so cool. I
It was
wish.
pretty tight. I also lived in a town that only had maybe like 20 people in it. So I
mm,
guess that was a fair trade off.
yeah. Yeah. You don't really have to share with anybody, but, the people who you could share with are like old people or,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know,
I would try to get my grandma and do it. My great grandma, I should
great
say. Try to get
grandma.
her.
Your
Yeah.
great grandma playing World of Warcraft.
That would be pretty tight.
That
'Cause I
would
don't
be.
even think she knew what a computer was.
Yeah.
Through all of her life, I don't think she understood. Rest her soul. But
Man.
man, she knew I did like them computer games though,
Nice.
and I had a PlayStation and a GameCube and all that good stuff. Sounds like I was spoiled, but I really wasn't. I mean,
No, I get you. I get you. Like I had nice things. It was just like I had to share them. So,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
if I wasn't using one of the PlayStations off by myself, somebody else was using it, and yeah,
right.
it was whatever. But I did get a lot of PS2 time. I put a ton of time into EverQuest, so it was pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
I didn't really get to play any online games when I was when I moved in with my mom later in life.
Hmm.
That's when I found World of Warcraft and RuneScape. But before
Yeah,
that, it was all single player games. Like I remember I played Metal Gear Solid 2. I like 100% that game
man.
before I was 10, probably, which it's not like the best game for a under 10-year-old to play. I didn't really understand it till later, but man, God,
Holy
I was so
shit.
obsessed with getting that like that brown Bryden wig for some reason, the infinite ammo one.
Nice. Yeah. Was the brown one stealth? I forget.
It wasn't I don't know if it was stealth or if it was in. No, yeah, I think you're right. It was
It
stealth
was.
because the other one was infinite ammo. It was like the hardest one to get.
Yeah. And I know there was one that was like blue and it was like breath, swimming breath.
Yeah, O2
O2.
infinite.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, those
wild.
were the days.
Those were the days, man. I guess. For you.
Well,
They
yeah.
were
I
alright.
mean, I don't know. I mean, when I moved in with my mom, I kind of became more turbulently online. I like got into Newgrounds, which
Ooh.
I had discovered. Like, I had a friend when I lived with my grandmother who had a computer, and when his dad would go to sleep, and I'd spend time, I like sleep over at his house. We'd wait till his dad went to bed. We'd go and get on Newgrounds and look up stuff,
Nice.
played games we shouldn't have played, and all
Yeah.
that good stuff.
I know what kind of games they have on Newgrounds. They're
Yeah,
or at least they did. It word got around, one would say.
absolutely it did. I mean, and we played them, and that carried over to when I was at my mom's, and I was more unsupervised than I ever had been in my entire life. So I was on Newgrounds a lot, and I mean, I went through a lot of different games.
Yeah,
World of Warcraft was the big one,
man.
I think, back then. I know I got up to level 60, but I never did anything with it. Kind of like what I did in Classic World of Warcraft, to be honest.
Yeah, the fucking leveling like the hardest motherfucking class to level all the way to 60 and then, not using that because because the grind is a fucking burnout.
It
So,
is. It was. It still was.
yeah.
But man, the grinding is like, it's the worst part, but it's the best part too. I think that's true with any MMO except RuneScape.
Yeah. RuneScape was like I thought it was cool that like you could do pretty much anything you wanted. It was just you had to build up the skill for it. But it was
Yeah,
doing the whatever repeated action for building up the skill just got so
for
old.
hours and hours. And it gets so bad. I mean, because the way their, like, XP is done is it's exponentially.
Yeah, that's
So as soon
right.
as you hit like level 70, then it's like it takes you I mean, it takes a long time
Man.
to get to level 99. I think it's the joke is like 92 level 92, or it's not even a joke, it's the truth. It's like level 92 is halfway to
It's
99
half
in terms
man. That's
of experience.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It really dissuades a person from trying to max their account.
Gee.
But there are people that do it. I mean, more power to them. But man, whew.
That's it.
And that's true with old school RuneScape too. That's not changed at all.
Yeah. Well, that's good to know. Some things never change, I guess.
Yeah, there'd be riot. I mean, people would quit if it changed. Like, there are people that will do it. There was a guy. I mean, tangent here. There was a guy, like, because once you hit level 99, you only hit like a couple million XP. But the XP caps at 200 million because, like, the game is coded with spaghetti and it can't go above 200 million. So people will hit 200 million XP, which is like hitting level 99 like 60 times,
Uh-huh.
which is insane.
That's yeah.
But there
Yeah.
was like one guy that was like grinding smithing, and smithing is like the worst, one of the worst.
Yeah.
But apparently he like would wear diapers and stuff,
Oh my
so he
god.
wouldn't have to waste experience.
Oh my god.
I'm laughing. That's really sad.
That is
I mean,
honestly
legitimately, that's very sad. But man, yeah, it's true. It's a true story. And there are
Jesus.
people like that would rather put on a diaper and shit themselves than give up the XP waste.
Oh my god. Just think like the amount of time that they put into leveling smithing for a character. They could have learned actual blacksmithing, for like
That's a
IRL,
good point.
you
That's a
know?
very good point.
That like that much dedication, if you're going to dedicate yourself that much to like an online skill that like you could just do it in real life unless it's like magic or something obviously that you can level up IRL but it just takes way longer than video games do so
Yeah, it's yeah. I think RuneScape players are very different than other MMO players.
it's a different breed, man. It's
Very, very much so. I don't have the dedication for that. I don't even have the dedication for a 99. I got like all my stuff up to around 70, and I was like, my God, this takes forever to get a level. I'm done.
man, yeah.
I still come in every couple of months, and I'm like, oh, cool, here's some new stuff I can do. But no, it's just like, no, I do not have that dedication.
Yeah, it's hardcore. If I feel like if there were more mechanics to it, I would I would have like stuck with it, but it seems like it's just do this repeated action over. Maybe I just didn't play the game right, but like when I try, I do quests. The quests were fun, like, but they just
The
didn't.
quests are probably the best part about
Yeah,
that game.
they didn't rack up any XP. So like, I killed a ton of my quest list, but it was just like, I was at I want to say combat level 67 or something. So
Yeah.
like it
That
wasn't
isn't
great.
even mid-game.
No, it's not.
That's like still early game.
It's not, man. And I feel like I
If any of
played
our
it.
listeners out here have never played RuneScape, yeah, that's like level 20, level 30 in any
Yeah,
other
it's
MMO.
it's just the
And it goes up to
beginning.
127, but level
Oh,
67 sounds like a lot. But the
it.
time it gets to 67 is like you'd have to spend almost 4 or 5 times that amount of
Oh,
time to
God,
get to 127, if not more.
insane. I didn't have that kind of dedication. Obviously, 67
No.
felt like a fucking accomplishment, but you know, compared
I mean,
to
it
any of my
is. I
other
mean, it.
friends, it's like my name would always be super bright green compared to compared to everybody else.
Oh, yeah. All of
Everybody
our
was
friends
red to
who
me.
were very red, like in
Yeah.
the 120s. And that was back in like 2010, 2011.
Yeah, when we
When
jumped
the.
into it in high school. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't jump in with both feet. I think I got members for the first time ever. But yeah,
Yeah, we played members
my
for a while. We
character
did like
was
some
like
dungeoneering.
embarrassingly low compared to
I mean, mine
everybody
still is. I
else.
think my main, like my RuneScape 3, which is the one we would have had, I
Man.
think he's actually a lower level than my old school
Man.
character. And that was one I'd had since like 2008.
Fuck, man. That's
It's
wild.
yeah. It's just one of those MMOs that I'm glad it exists. I really am. I'm glad that they actually do their legacy stuff right, unlike World of Warcraft, who we could probably have a whole dialogue on and why I am have feelings on it the way that I do.
Uh
Um,
I did not
World of
hear a
Warcraft.
majority of what you just said. It was
Oh, sorry.
I
Oh, was it
heard it
Discord?
was
Probably.
no, it's a yeah, probably. But what I heard was I appreciate RuneScape for what it like was and
I appreciate it for what it is,
okay.
not the new one,
Oh
but
yeah.
the old one. I appreciate what the legacy version of RuneScape is trying to do
Uh-huh. Yeah.
because it's what I wish World of Warcraft Classic would have done instead of how they went about it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I agree with you in the fact that like I mean I World of Warcraft Classic besides that like 2 days in high school when you rebought all the games Cataclysm dropped and like we started characters and then
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
abandoned it pretty quick, I think. But other than that,
We played the shit out of Classic though.
yeah, Classic was my introduction into WoW proper. Um, so it was cool.
But you,
I
yeah.
enjoyed the time I spent on it, but
Oh, I did too, and I'm happy for all the friends we made in it and everything. I mean, I had a very good time with it
oh yeah, for sure.
until I didn't. But
Yeah.
no, I really did have a good time with it overall. I mean, I was really hoping that they would do the RuneScape thing and like do a Classic Plus
Uh-huh.
instead of just Classic. Here's everything that was in Classic, and then we're going to go on to the next expansion.
Mm.
I wish they would have expanded it. I understand why they didn't because Blizzard the way it is right now.
Yeah, it's it's
There
not
was no way it was ever going to happen.
Yowza is yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that tonight.
Nah. I don't know all the details, so I can't speak to it honestly, but the things that I've heard in passing is no bueno, allegedly.
I
So
mean, Kree changed his name to Cassidy
I did hear that, yeah. Which
because he was named after a sex offender.
whoops. So...
Whoopsie. Lesson learned. Don't name your characters after devs that could possibly have shit come to light.
Yeesh, man. But classic
But
WoW. Anyway,
yeah, that aside, I mean,
getting
it
back
was
to
done.
it.
It was done well enough, and they did
Yeah,
fix some things.
yeah.
It was nothing that really affected us because we weren't. I mean, I'm not trying to speak for both of us, but I know neither of us were min maxers to an extent. We
100%.
followed guides and everything, but it's not like we were the ones that were like bitching because people were botting. I forget they were botting some herbology ingredient.
Oh, motherfucking Black Lotus.
Black lotuses, yeah,
Yeah, fucking insane. I leveled my herbalism max on my night elf, and I was like, nice, I can get some Black Lotuses, contribute to, like, raid prep, and I think I got one, maybe, ever, and
yeah,
it was
because you
super
get those
lucky.
hunters or the druids or rogues even that would like just invisible and
Yes.
bought it, and they'd wait for it to spawn, and they would like take it immediately.
Yeah. Fucking
That was a
crazy.
big problem.
Yeah.
There were a lot of other really big issues, and some of them were fixed, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
that weren't fixed in like vanilla. But even then, back then, it didn't affect me because I also wasn't a min maxer back then.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like I just like kind of watched the community and I saw what they were seething about, and it
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh shit, that sucks.
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely wasn't, optimal character choice with race and class and blah blah blah. Like, uh, I mean, maybe I did good that first go round on Horde with a undead priest, but
Yeah,
I think troll priests are supposed to be better because of their berserking.
troll.
Um,
Yeah, troll was like the best class or best race
yeah,
for a horde because of that berserking.
yeah.
Same with warrior. A warrior troll will out DPS
Oh,
a.
that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
That berserking
yeah,
skill is super crazy. It was just like a speed up on their either cast time or like attack time or something.
both.
Both, man. For like a good amount of time too. I want to say it was like
Yeah, it
15, 30
was.
seconds that it
It was
lasted.
like they could pull as from a warrior's perspective, they could pull initial threat way faster than anybody else could.
Nice. Okay.
Orc warriors, I mean, they got axes, which were
Uh-huh.
good, not as good as swords, which human warriors were supposed to be like the meta
Yeah.
best warrior class, but man, back in the day that didn't matter. None of that mattered.
Right?
It was
Yeah.
just like you just played whatever you wanted to play.
Yeah, it that's what I like about starting on like a fresh MMO or something.
Hmm.
Like, everybody's just figuring it out. So there's still like a ton I feel like there's a ton of fun in just like discovering the ways that you can play your character in an RPG. It's I think that's part of the fun. But
No, I agree. That's a good point. That's a
yeah.
very good point you bring up, is because, and it's an issue with RuneScape, old school RuneScape. I'm talking about the RuneScape that came out in like 2013 or 14
Uh-huh.
that emulated the 2007 style. It's a problem with classic World of Warcraft because they're solved games. It's like checkers.
Yeah. See, and I
If
didn't
you know how to
understand that.
win, you know,
Mhm.
then it's not fun. I
Yeah.
mean, it's fun until you've won a million times against somebody that doesn't know, but then eventually it just becomes, you know how to win.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And that's
There's no,
the people going into classic WoW or the people who've played WoW since it was vanilla. So like, they have literally years of experience over somebody like me who was like, I didn't really have a chance to play it at vanilla launch. So like, okay, here's my chance to start at the ground zero. But it was like, okay, you're like a noob amongst everybody who at least understands the game mechanics. It was it was brutal. I did a ton
yeah,
of
it's like,
learning, but god damn.
yeah, there was a lot. I mean, I feel like I spent a lot of time outside of the game just researching on what I should
You
do to
just
be,
you just cut
you
out
know,
there again super hard.
oh,
Um
that must be Discord, dude, because like
yeah.
My levels are great. My levels are awesome on Audacity.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it's fine. Just fucking.
Are we gonna use Skype for this episode?
I thought, yeah, I even suggested it, and then I didn't even
I'll
start
have
it
to
up.
try it for next episode
Yeah.
because I am almost positive mine. Hopefully, it comes up in the recording.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
It looks like it will. I mean, my levels seem pretty decent,
Yeah.
but
That's something I have to remember too, is that like as you're going, it's recording your voice even if I can't
yeah. But
hear
if you
you.
don't know what I'm
If I don't know
saying,
what
you
you're saying,
can't
I'm just
respond.
yeah.
It doesn't matter.
That's when I
Glad
say,
you bring it up. Who
yeah,
cares?
man.
Technical difficulties, people. That's
Yeah.
what you get with the Midwest Scumbag podcast
That's right. We hash out our technical difficulties on air.
on
I'm
air.
not going to hit stop just for you. You
Hell no.
No, I'm sure
You
you
think we're gonna edit this shit out?
Nope.
Fuck no.
Fuck
That's too much
no.
work.
I do the bare minimum amount that I could get away with. And anyway, what what the fuck were you saying?
I don't know, something about World of Warcraft, how it's a solved game.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That became increasingly apparent the closer we got to level 60, and then at level 60, when we were starting to do dungeons, and people were like, well, you need to do it this way, you need to tank it this way, you need to heal this way.
Yeah.
If you don't, you need to stand exactly at this spot on the stairs, or else you're going to lose line of sight. I'm going to bitch at you through a whisper because you didn't know that.
Uh-oh. That sounds very specific.
I mean, yeah, we could talk about any part of that. I mean, the temple of what was it?
Was that
There was Zul'Farrak. It
Oh
could
yeah.
happen.
Yeah, the
And in
pyramid.
Skolomance, it could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Those like ziggurat things and Stratholme, it could happen.
Yeah.
If you were standing at exactly the wrong spot, then the enemy would lose sight of you and go to the next target, which could, be the priest, and it would be bad.
Yeah, because then the priest
But if you didn't know that, well, then fuck you.
Yeah, exactly.
And there were some very passive-aggressive people about it that would whisper.
Yeah.
Specifically me, because I was a tank and I wasn't doing my job right. I'm sorry.
See, I got a lot of slack cut for me, I think, because I was a dirty little heel slut, and everybody respects the heel slut.
Because nobody heals.
Yeah. Everybody wants to do
just
damage.
heal.
Yeah, that was a big thing
be a shadow
too,
priest
man.
Or a DPS.
Yeah, I noticed that amongst just the player base too. It was like hard as fuck to find a tank. And, you've got a billion hunters and rogues and mages. Like,
because people like doing damage, they don't like doing work.
Yeah.
They don't like doing the dirty.
That's right.
I mean, hell, you and me, we killed Princess on our own.
Dude, we fucking two-manned it. That's right.
We two-man Princess.
Yeah, that's
with a bunch of potions and shit, but we did it.
Yeah, that was Marodon, right?
Yeah, it was.
And
we got the Blackstone ring.
Yes, oh my god, that's right. That was like
off the very first run.
Fucking insane. I wish.
Or the second run, I can't remember, but we got it like that first night we tried it. We were like, we're gonna do this 2-man because fuck getting group, fuck losing items to people.
Yeah.
And we did it.
We fucking did it. It was nuts. That was like, whew, man, I wasn't as in touch with my dopamine response back then as I am now, but goddamn, that was a fucking dopamine rush, brother.
That was fun as hell.
Yeah.
That was what it was all about. It's that shit that you and I could just do because we picked the optimal classes for duos.
Yeah.
For classic.
Yeah. Classic.
Not because it was optimal, but because it was like our favorite classes. Like I love warrior, you love priest.
That's right. Yeah.
And it just made sense.
It did. It I wouldn't want to jump into any MMO if I don't have like a healing option, I guess. Just because, like, that's what I've been fucking trained to do.
Yeah.
EverQuest, when I played that, it was, my high elf cleric. That's the one I put all my fucking time in. I had a couple alts that were just, like, it was fun to mess around with, but, that was my main, is a healing little heal slut. I love that term because that's what I am, Even in like when I played a bunch of Overwatch, I was a fucking Mercy main, and Zenyatta. I fucking love Zenyatta. It was so fun. But them heal classes, brother. That's what I was all about.
Yeah, and I've always been a tank. I've always liked being the one at the front line taking damage. Unfortunately, that comes with being like the team leader
Yeah,
most of the
unfortunately.
time. But I feel like for most of the time I could do it.
Yeah. And it was super fun. I made a alt in classic WoW with I made that dwarf warrior. It was really fun being a dwarf tank, which isn't the optimal race and class option. And same thing with like the night elf priest. Like it was definitely probably better to play oh shit,
Dwarf priest was the
dwarf
best.
priest. That's right. Yeah,
'Cause they got the I forgot what it was,
it
like some
was
kind of decursed or a dispel.
it was a fear ward is what it was.
Fear ward,
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
which
that's
is
it.
insane. But instead of the stupid star shard spell that the night elves get. Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of fixed that stuff in the next expansion, Burning Crusade.
Oh yeah.
I believe, but I didn't have enough drive. And I mean, it was also in school at the time it dropped. And
Hmm.
now at this point, it's like I don't know. I think if Final Fantasy 14 comes to Xbox, so I can actually play it, I
Yeah,
probably will play it.
that'd be pretty sweet. Or if they localized Monster Hunter Online, I don't know if that's still running.
No, they
No.
took the servers down years ago.
Fuck. Okay, that one looked so cool, and it even had like Monster Hunter Online like specific monsters that weren't in the base games.
Yeah, it did. It did. It looked really fun. I would have absolutely played that, but it never got localized.
Nope.
Never left Japan. I mean, never got localized officially. I think there was like a English patch, but you still had to play on Japanese servers,
Yeah.
which wouldn't have really mattered, you know. I mean, it's just
Honestly,
Monster
it's just
Hunter.
Monster Hunter, but I would still like to understand what the fuck what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, what people are saying. Je suis monte.
Just we month.
You've never played Monster Hunter if you don't know what that means. We're gonna gatekeep that one.
Yeah. Even though that was from a newer Monster Hunter title, relatively.
Yeah, yeah, it was.
But still, yeah. Um, fuck, man. I wish that like Blizzard wasn't a terrible company.
I know.
Eh.
As much as I'd love to get back into World of Warcraft again, I just don't know if I can now after
Yeah.
all the shit that's happened. I know there are people that are like, well, whatever, it doesn't matter, just play the game. I just there's so many other factors to it that I just can't bring
Yeah.
myself to. I mean, on top of it, like I got super addicted to it again. Like I was playing it at work and
Yeah, that's
like,
right.
you know, leveling up my warrior while I was dealing with customers, and I'd get super annoyed whenever somebody would come and interrupt me
Man,
because it
yeah.
meant life or death.
Oof.
Obviously, that's on me. Of course, I could play the game without that.
Mhm.
But can you really?
Yeah. I mean, I
I mean,
was
can you stay viable?
yeah. Fucking yeah, I was doing the whole I'm going to try to go back to college thing when it dropped. So I didn't have and I didn't find a job, which was fucking stupid. Like the whole my finances went in the gutter because of it. But I bought a year's worth of a WoW subscription before I ran out of money, so I could play WoW.
And boy, did you get your money's
I
worth, man.
certainly did, man. Like,
I said we played the fuck out of that thing. We both leveled 2 level 60s, opposite factions, different servers. Eventually switched our other faction to the server we were on, and then
yeah,
didn't do anything after that.
nope, Nope,
because
man.
we were both burnt out by that point, or I was burnt out by that point.
Yeah, and let's see. Yeah, fucking
I mean, you played a little bit longer than I did after I
I did,
quit.
yeah, but it was also like right at
That was when I started school.
yeah, you started school and I got out of school, and then I fucking ran out of money, and I was bumming internet back at my mom's place, so it was like,
Yeah.
I really couldn't play to the full extent. And then, of course I was broke, so I had to go get a new job, and yeah, obviously.
Kids, don't play MMOs. You will go broke.
That's right.
You will lose all your money.
You will not finish college,
This
and
isn't even from a pay to win MMO. This is just from
yeah,
regular MMO.
it's literally just like the subscription, a monthly subscription in the game. That was yeah. It
I would like stay up for like 16 hours and then I would sleep for 4 just so I could get up and play more World of
Yep,
Warcraft. It's bad.
immediately.
It is bad. I love it. But my god, I cannot believe I did that.
Dude, for real.
It was like all I thought about. It was like when I wasn't playing World of Warcraft, I was reading or watching videos.
About World of Warcraft. Yeah. Yeah, I treated it like another fucking class I was taking. That like I would, I'd come home from classes in the morning, and then like if I didn't immediately jump on WoW, it was like, okay, let me go do like look up these dungeons online because I have no idea what I'm doing. Like going into, planning on going into whatever dungeon, or even just like going to a different area to like I fucking spent so much time farming those stupid sprite things.
Oh yeah, for your best in slot, like
Yeah, for the
wand?
it was a helm. It was
Helmet,
yeah,
yeah.
it was the fuck. If I remember the name of it, I can't remember the name of it, but I
But it was like
do.
a super duper rare drop.
Yeah,
Like it was
it was a world.
extremely unlikely you'd get it.
Yeah, it was a world drop, and it was like super best in slot helm, like way better than pre raid anyway. I might say, but I had a whole I like made tally marks as I was grinding these out because it was like it's like a 3% drop or something like that, and I was like,
Yeah.
okay, so if I do 100, then at least 3, right? And I swear to God, I killed like 250 of them and didn't even get a single one. So
Yeah. I never did that because I knew world drops were just impossible.
yeah, yeah.
But I did get Edgemaster's handguards that one time,
Oh yeah.
and I was stupid and I sold them like immediately instead of. And I bought a Lionheart helm because I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna main tank. I'm gonna main tank for the guild
Mm-hmm.
instead of being smart and buying an epic mount. No, I'm gonna go buy a Lionheart helm, which is now basically trash in
Honestly,
fucking Burning Crusade.
son of a bitch.
I mean, it was best in slot for like ever. I don't think it wasn't best in slot until Naxxramas.
Damn.
But so it was a good investment if you were going to continually play.
Yeah.
But I bought it before even like getting to Upper Blackrock Spire.
Oh man, that's right.
And it was like, so a better investment would have been a epic mount, because even if I logged in today, I'd be like, oh, I have an epic mount, but it's gonna be like, no, I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna have all these blue trash items from Strat. I'm gonna have one epic that I fucking spent 900 gold on. No regrets.
Oh,
No regrets.
man.
I remember I even tipped the dude like 20 gold for it. That made it
Fuck.
for me.
That's it's brutal, man.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It did make our other warrior kind of jelly though, and that was almost worth
Yeah,
it.
right? Get that spite buff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But it was fun. I had a fun time with it.
Yeah, it was super fun. I enjoyed the shit out of the time that I spent on it, and honestly, I wish I could play it, but like during that time period, I tried out retail for, a handful of hours, and I was like, this is not for me. I got to
Mhm.
stay on classic. So like, I wouldn't even fucking play retail now. It,
Oh no, absolutely not.
it was
So
way,
I'm saying Final Fantasy 14 seems to be the way to go nowadays.
mm-hmm.
But
Unless we get super duper deep into Destiny.
that's true. I could. It's possible.
Yeah. Dude, it's pretty fucking sick on the PC, first person shooters are, I feel like they're always better keyboard and mouse.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So on
Yeah.
top of like the fucking badass shit you do in Destiny to feel fucking awesome, it's like, oh, I'm also kind of good at shooting things too. So I feel at least if I'm cross playing with people, I feel like I'm pulling my
Yeah, because
weight.
they can't keep up.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible to keep up with the fucking controller.
That's right. Whew.
But yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
MMOs just in general, I think are crazy
You watch the
fun.
numbers go up and it makes you feel good.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
You just watch a little number go up and you get a little bit of pride and accomplishment out of it, and you want to see that number go higher.
That's right. Yeah. And then, what do you have to show for it at the end of the day? You're like, online, I fucking two-man princess in
Yeah, two-man princess. You can go and fucking stand at the bank with all your fancy loot and have all the fucking level ones look at you and think you're a god.
Yeah.
Until that other guy that comes up that no life's more than you, and then you look like a fucking noob compared to him. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
basically.
it's all. Yeah, that's what it's about. You get
Yeah.
that tiny little bit of an ego rush until you don't, and then you see that guy that's done it more, and you want to do it more so you can be like him. So
Yep. And then eventually, if you put the time in, you can be like him. But then you'll run into him later on, and he puts even more time into it than you do. So he's already in like tier 3 full raid gear and, has a bunch of wild shit. And you're like, oh, I have some cool shit. It's cool starting shit. He's like, I remember when I was like you, running around in pre-raid best in slot like a
here's 50 gold, you fucking loser.
fucking
I know it's a lot
scrub.
to you. It's nothing to
It's
me.
nothing to me. This is this is meaningless. I play this game because I'm just so good at it. That's
This is my job.
honestly, man.
Yeah.
That'd be the life. Fucking getting paid.
I mean, if I could spend my life to do that, yeah, I probably would.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably.
Man. So yeah, man, MMOs are pretty great.
Yeah, they're pretty great.
They're pretty great. And
It's funny we both talk about them so much and like neither of us really play one like seriously. I mean, we've been playing Destiny, but I wouldn't say that I've been playing that as seriously as I have WoW. We have a lot to say about it, is what I'm saying, but we don't like commit.
okay, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, you cut out during like your your whole speech, but then I
Oh,
caught
it's
your
there. I guarantee
summary. So,
it's there.
I get you. No, yeah, for
It'll
sure.
be funny when you listen to this over again. You see how silly you look.
I know. I probably sound like a fucking idiot, like just not comprehending what you're saying, or just going like, "Yeah, man, yeah."
I mean, maybe it's totally possible.
Oh. Yeah, back on that. Trying to find that perfect MMO. I think is the, chasing the dragon down, so to
It's
speak.
that perfect high.
That's what they're always talking about. It's not heroin use. It's the right the right MMO for you.
Yep. Yep, just something to get hooked long enough that you forget to do, take a shower every couple days, and
Piss in jars for fun.
yeah.
Like, my
Or you
bathroom's right
chug down
here. I'm
that
not
Mountain
gonna
Dew
fuck.
bottle and then you piss in it because you're in the middle of a raid and you can't leave. Because if you do leave, your guild master will get mad at you. And you think she might be hot, but you're not really sure, but you don't want to disappoint her. She's probably not hot.
I don't know. I like to believe that every female that's played World of Warcraft is fucking smoking. You know what I mean?
That's what I think too.
I want to believe that.
Just like my RuneScape GF.
Yeah. Who was definitely not a dude.
And I didn't buy. I didn't
You
spend
didn't.
20k
You
in
didn't.
my bronze armor for. Totally didn't do that.
I always liked putting on a bronze full helmet and then the plate skirt, running around and, like, waiting for people to be like, "Hey, do you need money?" And then I'm like, "Yeah," and I take off the helmet.
Yeah. And you have a big old beard.
Yeah.
Big old porn stash.
That's the dream.
Like, yeah, let's go to the wilderness first, though.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring all your bank.
Jesus.
And then you log in on your main and fucking just clap them.
Because it was a good lesson to learn, if you're gonna learn anything, it's that people are gonna fucking scam the shit out of you in life.
Absolutely.
And there's no escaping it, even in an online fantasy setting.
Oh no, they're gonna want your gold.
You're gonna fall for it too. There's some pretty convincing motherfuckers.
Social engineering. That's what it is.
Yeah, it totally is. Wild, man.
Yeah, it's a crazy world we live in. I'm glad we were born in a time where we could actually enjoy these types of video games.
Born in where?
In a time where
Oh.
we could enjoy these types of games with other people.
Yeah.
In other places. Simultaneously.
Yeah, how crazy is that shit, man?
Pretty nuts.
So yeah, wrapping back to the theme of the night, which was acceptance? Or
yeah, acceptance.
Acceptance. Yeah. I accept that MMOs exist in this world. I I don't know what I was gonna say there. So
I regret nothing.
I
regret absolutely nothing.
Nothing. This
If I could do it again, if I had the time, I would. That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, I agree. Man, what an episode. Do you have any final thoughts other than you just said that's all you're going to say about that, so unless you're done. Okay.
Yes.
Oh wow. All right. God damn it. I thought everything dropped.
No.
Son of a bitch.
No. We can end it there.
All right.
That's fine.
This is what happens when I don't show up to your place with a gun and force you to record in person with me. God damn it.
Yeah, I know, Daddy.
All right, this is the end of the episode.